Today on the CTV News at 5, a busy day for tax offices. It's deadline day for your income tax. Plus, Canadians are finding out just how much our new loonies and toonies can disrupt everyday life. And Lethbridge College's year-end fashion show is a tribute to the past.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Lethbridge City Council has approved an increase in the 2012 mill rate to meet this year's tax requirements. Property tax notices go out in May, and they will include a 2.9% hike in municipal taxes and a 9.45% increase in the provincial education levy. The result will be a combined increase of just over 4.5%, or around $112 a year for an average single-family home property. The city's share of the increase is $52. The provincial education tax will amount to $62. The requisition for the Green Acres Foundation is actually going to go down by $2. Meanwhile, the village of Nobleford has also approved its final tax rate, and even after the education tax hike, residents there will see their property tax bills go down by about $45 per household. That's a 15% drop, and it marks the 6th straight year the village has decreased taxes. And if you haven't filed your federal taxes yet, you're running out of time. Midnight tonight is the deadline to file your 2011 income tax return. If you don't owe the government money, you won't have to pay penalties, but you could see a delay in not only your tax refund, but other benefits like GST or child tax. If you owe money, you could be in trouble starting May 1st. You'll start racking up penalty charges and daily company interest on the unpaid amount. Despite the number of Canadians filing their returns online, tax offices are still doing a brisk business.
This is the last day everybody's getting in to make sure they avoid a penalty and interest and stuff like that. So all our offices are usually really busy today. So getting everybody through, we usually stay open until everybody's gone.
And starting tomorrow, you'll start paying costly penalty charges and daily compound interest on the amount that you owe. Well, speaking of money, Canada's new loonies and toonies may cause some big headaches and extra expense for businesses. The new loonies and toonies are lighter and are made of multiplated steel instead of nickel. The Mint is saving $60 million a year with the new coins, but it comes at a big cost for the vending industry, from parking meters to VLTs. Every machine accepting coins as payment needs an upgrade to handle the new coins. Depending on the machine, that can mean up to several $100s of retooling. Others can be reprogrammed on the spot. Jay Toporowski fixes vending machines for a living and is reprogramming up to 40 machines a day.
It's a really big hassle for all my customers. It's time to go out and get all these done. It's luckier nowadays to where quite a few of the coin mechs can go out and be programmed on site, which saves a lot of time and effort. The ones that can't be programmed on site, there can be up 8 to 10 weeks for them to be done and back in the machine.
Toporowski points out there will be another big hit to the industry this fall when the new polymer-based $20 bills hit the streets. And that will mean the reprogramming of everything from change machines to ATMs to almost every self-checkout in the country. Meanwhile, a Lethbridge gas station was robbed for money and cigarettes over the weekend. Around 11:30 Saturday night, police were called to a robbery at the Gas King on 5th Avenue North. Regional police have released this picture from the gas station store surveillance video. The man was armed with a knife and fled the store in a white pickup truck after getting his loot. The subject is described as a Caucasian male, 25 to 30 years old, about 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, and unshaven. He was wearing a dark toque, black jacket with a white shirt underneath, black jeans and runners. If you have any information, you're urged to contact either police or Crime Stoppers. Let's check in with Dory for our first look at the weather. And we've got some pretty decent temperatures this week.
You know, it's not bad, Jackie. I mean, even though the fact that we have, showers tonight and we get a little bit of a break temporarily tomorrow morning and then some showers redeveloping again, temperature-wise, we're not doing all that bad. Average is only 16 degrees for this time of year. So when we're in the mid to high 20s, as we were a little while ago, people get spoiled. But reality is we're only in the mid-teen temperatures for average temperatures. So we're not doing bad at all this week. I'll have the details in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Well, it was an exhausting weekend for a number of Kimberley, BC residents who were busy cleaning up from last week's flooding. and it may not be over. The floodwaters have receded and are under control, but 11 families are still out of their homes. Others still remain on evacuation alert. The homes hardest hit were in the Morrison subdivision and on Wallinger Avenue. The flooding came from melting of the snowpack in the mountains, and there is concern it may not be over as there's still a lot of snowpack left. As a precaution, the city is leaving all the sandbagging and blocking in place. Most of the families affected don't have insurance for the damages. A fund has been set up at the Kootenay Savings Credit Union under the name Kimberly Cares. Meanwhile, staff at a Lethbridge long-term care facility have a new contract after trying to take strike action. In March, a group of union employees at the Edith Cavell Care Center held an information rally on the day they were supposed to be picketing. Just as they were about to go on strike, the province stepped in and appointed a disputes inquiry board, making a walkout illegal. Late last week, the employees and owner of the facility, Chantal Management, ratified a new 3-year deal, and it includes a health spending account as well as wage increases of 3.5% in the first year and 3% in the second and third years. Well, with glowing hearts, dozens of people became official citizens of the True North Strong and Free this weekend. Alicia Fieldberg shares the journey of one of Canada's newest citizens.
I'm a Canadian citizen now, and it feels good. I have a new home, and I have a future for me, for my kids, and for my family.
Christina Fair's patriotism for her new country is clearly marked on her face. She was born and raised in Mexico. 5 years ago, she traveled to Canada and fell in love with a man and the country.
My aunt and uncle lived here. I was just going to visit. I met my husband, and I was seeing a future, so I made it my home.
Becoming a Canadian citizen isn't easy. You must have lived in the country for 3 of the past 4 years, have a good grasp of English or French, and score 75% or higher on a test of Canadian history and values.
It is something a lot of Canadians would have a hard time passing, so it's a challenge. But we're setting the bar high.
Thanks for welcoming me into Canada.
Christina is one of 70 new Canadians from 21 different countries who worked hard to meet the requirements and took part in an official citizenship ceremony Saturday.
For some of them, they've been here for quite a few years, and it's just a decision they've made to make it official. Others, it's been a long journey coming from countries where they almost had to flee the country. So it's, for some of the things that we take for granted, they realize how blessed we are to be in Canada.
Christina isn't taking her new country for granted. She says she's most excited for the education opportunities for her 3 kids.
I know Canada has something for us as a family that we can go out and be somebody.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Lethbridge hosts 2 citizenship ceremonies at the courthouse each year. And hundreds of others spent their Saturday in court to get a hands-on experience with the law. Law Day is an annual province-wide initiative that aims to bring people better understanding about the Canadian justice system. Visitors at Lethbridge's event got a sneak peek at a crime scene investigation technique. The free event also included courthouse tours, canine demonstrations, and mock trials. Lawyers also offered free legal advice to people who registered in advance. And Saturday was also the day that people around the world spent remembering those who have died while working. The International Day of Mourning recognizes workers that have died on the job and advocates for safer work practice. In Lethbridge, city staff, local union members, and family and friends of those who have passed away gathered at the Workers' Memorial Monument in Mountain View Cemetery. In Alberta, 123 workers died either on the job, driving to a worksite, or from an occupational disease.
123 people is a large number, but when you consider the family members that are left behind, the friends that are left behind, the co-workers that are left behind, you're literally talking about thousands of people that are impacted by people dying on the job.
800 employees die on the job in Canada each year. More than 40 businesses and organizations in downtown Lethbridge are joining together to make the first Friday of each month a little more special. First Friday is a new campaign organized by the Heart of Our City Committee. Businesses in downtown Lethbridge will be offering a variety of promotions to draw visitors. The first Friday of each month will also feature street music, museum events, and the opening of exhibits at the Art Gallery. The first one is scheduled for this Friday, May the 4th.
There's a lot of unique businesses in the downtown that maybe people haven't been to, and so if there's a special there, they'll have a reason to go in and see what it has to offer, and just overall just bring an awareness to what we have in the downtown. There's a lot of people that are giving things away. We have some stores giving away guitars. We have people having live music right in their business, and everybody just really went all out and had fun with it. So we're excited to see what happens this Friday.
Throughout the summer, you'll be able to find a complete schedule of events in the downtown on Fridays by going to their website. It's www.firstfridaylethbridge.com. It was an evening of glamour inspired by past decades at Lethbridge College's year-end fashion show and media kaleidoscope. Look at our CTV's own Dory Rossiter and Daryl Rummel. They were two of the models who took on the runway to show off Don Cherry-inspired suits, among other things. The Roaring 20s themed event displayed what students have learned during their time at Lethbridge College. Fashion students spent months designing and crafting clothing lines that were showcased Saturday evening. Communications, marketing, and multimedia students coordinated the event.
This is the School of Media and Design, so not just a fashion program, and we're all coming together to put on this great event. And we've just worked so hard the past 2 years, and just to show everyone what we've been working on. It's good to show what we're capable of.
The annual event is also the awards night for media and design students. And the markets today, down day for both West Texas crude and our loonie. Here are the final numbers.